Hello friends, today we are going to see the second unit, Research Aptitude Previous Year Research Aptitude questions. Okay, then we go to the first question. The first question is, there are two sets given below. Set 1 specifies the types of research, while this is the types of research. Okay, while set 2 indicates their characteristic. So their characteristic and their types. Match the two and give your answer by selecting the appropriate code. The first one, fundamental research. So fundamental research, first of all we have to know the types of research. Fundamental research, then applied research, action research, evaluative research. Fundamental research is normally it is based on the theory. Okay, developing an effective explanation through theory building. If you are writing some theory means that is called as fundamental research. The next one, applied research. Applied research means after we found some theory, we are applying in somewhere, right? So that's called as an applied research, exploring the possibility of a theory for use in various situations, how it will work. If I said that for example COVID medicine, first I found out some theory. Okay, so that theory, whether it is work out or not, I applied for some set of peoples, right? So that is called as applied research. So the first one is fundamental research, and the next one is applied research, and then it is coming to the action research. Action research is we are using this action research to improve the existing situation through use of intervention. I am improving this existing situation. For this action research will be used, or we can say that action research is for the evolution. So after finding out in an applied research that medicine is work out, and then I am giving everyone, then I am giving to everyone, that's called as action research. And then how it is effective, we are find out how it is effective, that medicine is, that is called as evaluative research. Evaluative research is finding out the extent of perceived impact of intervention. So we are perceiving how it is, on how, what is the impact of that particular medicine. So that is called as evaluative research. So fundamental research is developing an effective explanation through theory building. So the first option is 2. So you can remove this 2 and 3. Okay, first and this. And then applied research. Applied research, we are exploring the possibility of a theory for use in various situations. Yes. So option 1 is the correct answer. Anyway, we can check it out other things. Action research, improving an existing situation through the use of intervention, and then evaluative research, finding out the extent of perceived impact of an intervention. Okay. The second question, which of the set of activities best indicate the cycle nature of action research strategy? So we have to find out the cyclic nature of action research. Okay. First of all, we have to see, we no need to see all the options, all the full sentence. We first see reflect. So first, the initial step we cannot reflect, right? So we just ignore this. Okay, initially we won't act. First of all, we will plan, right? So act won't come. So if you see observe and act or plan and act. So first of all, we will plan for everything, right? So we will plan and then act and then observe and then reflect. So option 4 is the correct answer. So the cyclic nature of action research is, first of all is plan and then act, then observe, and then we are reflecting. Okay, so these are the steps. So first this, and second one this, and third one, and fourth. The next one, which of the following sequence of research step is nearer to scientific method? Nearer to scientific method is, first of all, we have to define the problem. See, in this statement there are 2 or 3 lines. You no need to study all the 2 to 3 lines. Okay, you see the first word, the first statement, they are telling that suggested solution of the problem. The first step itself we cannot find out the solution, right? So we can directly neglect this option. Then perceiving the problem situation. Initially we cannot perceive. First of all, we will identify the problem or defining the problem, right? So in this option 3 or option 4 will come. So here you can see defining a problem, identifying the causes of the problem, defining a population, drawing a sample, collecting data and analysis the result. So this one will come. So first of all we have to define the problem. What is the problem? So that we have to write. So option 3, identifying the casual factors, it won't come. Okay. So for in a research everything is important. So here the steps are defining a problem, identifying the causes of the problem, defining a population and drawing a sample, collecting data and analyzing the result. Okay. The next question. The problem of research ethic is concerned with which aspect of research activity? So in us, the problem of research ethics, okay, is concerned with which aspect of research activity. So where the ethic will become a problem, okay, it is not an ethic, it is correct or it is not correct. So when this argument will come? At the time of reporting. Okay, following the prescribed format. If you are following the prescribed format, there is no, it is not a big issue, right? If they say to bold means we can bold it. So that is not an issue. And then data data analysis through qualitative and quantitative technique. So we are analyzing, that is also not a big issue. Defining the population of research. So that it also. So evidence-based research reporting. So wherever you are giving your research report, you have to provide the evidence. So this will become the problem of research ethic. So our research reporting should be, there is a difficulty in reporting. At the time of reporting only all the issues will come, right? So the problem of research ethics is concerned with which aspect of research activity? Option 4, evidence-based research reporting. Okay. The next question. In which of the following activities potential for nurturing creative and critical thinking is relatively greater? Okay. In which activity potential for nurturing creative and critical thinking? So where it is greater? In which activity our creativity and critical thinking is greater? Okay. So the first option, preparing research summary. So it doesn't a very big creative, right? Or it is not a very critical thing. So you can nail it. And presenting a seminar paper. So that is also not. Participating in a workshop? No. Participating in a research conference, we can get so many creatives, so many knowledge, so many wider thinking from many peoples. So here in this activity, we will nurture the creativity and critical thinking is relatively greater when compared with other things. In some websites, it is given as participation in a workshop, but that is not a correct one. The next one, which of the following research type focuses on ameliorating the prevailing situation? Ameliorating means improvement. So we have to improve the present situation by using the action research. In the first itself we have seen that for the improvement, for the betterment, and whatever word ameliorating, if these words are coming, you know, the correct answer is action research. So based on the theory only, fundamental research, and then exploring the possibility, applied, and experimental research, we are just observing. The next one. A researcher attempts to evaluate the effect of method of feeding and anxiety proneness of children. Which method of research would be appropriate for this? So for this anxiety means worriness. Okay. So it's to do some research, what is the problem with children. So if you want to find out some research based on that, we have to find, that is called as an ex post facto method. Ex post facto method means after an incident we are finding out what is the, why it has happened after an incident. The next question. In which of the following arrangements a wider spectrum of ideas, which is already told, a wider spectrum of ideas and issues may be made possible? Research article? No, it is just a static, some theory we are going to study in research article. In a workshop mode? No. A conference only we are getting wider spectrum of ideas. Okay. The next one, in finalizing a thesis writing format, which of the following would form part of supplementary pages? Supplementary pages means we are adding some additional pages. Okay, so adding some additional pages with our some data. For example, if I purchase something, I attached some invoices like that. So supplementary pages means some list of tables and figures which should be related to our concept. So that is called as an supplementary pages. The next one, which of the following is susceptible to the issue of research ethics? So susceptible, where the doubt is arise at the time of reporting. It is not about the inaccurate or application of statistic or faculty of research design, faulty of research design, choice of sampling technique. It is at the time of reporting of research findings. Susceptible to the issue of research ethics is reporting of research finding. Okay, so while you are submitting your report, at that time only suspect will arise. Okay, the next, June 2017. The principal of a school conducts an interview session of teachers and students to explore the possibility of their enhanced participation in the program. This endeavor may be related to which type of research? So the principal is finding out to improve the situation, right? Here, to improve the situation, enhance the participation in school program. So that will be come under action research. The next question, in doing action research, what is the usual sequence of steps? So in action research, what are the usual sequence of steps? First you want to reflect, and then first you want to act. Okay, so option 2 and 3 you can just verify option 2 and 3. So first one is plan, the next one is next itself we cannot reflect. Okay, so option 3 also won't come. So option 2 is the correct answer. Plan, act, observe and reflect. Okay. The next question, which sequence of research step is logical in the list given below? Which sequence of research step is logical? Okay, problem. So again they are asking research cycle. Development of research design, initially we cannot research, initially we cannot design, right? So problem formulation is the first step. So here also problem formulation, and then so after problem formulation we cannot decide about the sample initially. Okay, we will find out the hypothesis, so this won't come, and then this analysis won't come. So in this research step, problem formulation, hypothesis making, development of a research design, collection of data, data analysis and formulation of generalization and conclusion. So this is the option 3 is the answer. The next question, below are given two sets, research method and data collection tools. Match the two sets and indicate your answer by selecting the correct code. So here set 1 indicates the research method and set 2 indicates the data collection tools. So for this experiment method we are using standardized test, and in ex post facto method we are using typical characteristic test. And descriptive survey method, survey method means we are surveying about some people or some situation, we are giving some questionnaires to the people, right? So descriptive survey method is questionnaire, and historical method we are using primary and secondary sources. So for this we can see what is the answer, option 2, 3 and then 4 and then 2 and then 1. So option B is the answer. The next one, the issue of research ethics may be considered pertinent at which stage of research? So doubt, wherever the issue of research ethics, the same again they are asking at the stage of reporting the findings. At the stage of reporting the findings, we have problem and issues in research ethics, right? The next question, in qualitative research paradigm, which of the following features may be considered critical? Data collection with standardized research tool. Research tool is we can easily identify. They are asking which is critical. And then sampling design with probability sample techniques. So this is also an easy one. Data collection with bottom-up empirical evidence. Data gathering to take top-down systematic evidence. So systematic evidence is easy. So bottom-up is the critical one. That is, if a particular incident happened, why it has happened. Okay. So if you are finding out this, the source, okay, the bottom up. So this is the critical one. Bottom up empirical evidence, and also we have to find out the evidence for this. So that one will become an critical thing. The next one. From the following list of statements, identify the set which has negative implication for research ethics. So which is the negative implications for research ethics? The first one, a researcher critically looks at the finding of another research. So a researcher critically looks at finding of another research. If you are finding another research, that is not a very big negative thing. The next one, related studies are cited without proper reference. So this will imply the negative implication. We have to see the research papers and all in a proper website. Okay. The next one, research findings are made the basis for policy making. So then it is a positive one. If you are creating the research in a particular policy and we are following that method, then it is a positive only. The next one, conduct of practitioner is screened in terms of reported research evidence. So there is a lot of chances at the time of research reporting. Okay. The next one, a research study is replicated with a view to verify the evidence from other researchers. So this is not a negative one. This is just a positive only. So this one comes. They are asking which is negative implication for research ethics. Both policy making and policy implementation processes are regulated in terms of preliminary studies. So we have to find out the policies and process in terms of preliminary study itself. So option 2, 4 and 6 is the correct answer. In a research on the effect of child rearing practice on stress proneness of children in competing school projects, the hypothesis formulated is that child rearing practice do influence stress proneness. Okay, that is the child is in some stress. So we are going to study about, we are going to make a research about on that. At the data analysis stage, a null hypothesis advanced to study the find out the tenability of research hypothesis. On the basis of evidence available, the null hypothesis is rejected. Okay, they have observed this. The null hypothesis is rejected at 0.01 level of significance. What decision may be warranted in respect of the research hypothesis? Whenever you are doing a research, first of all, the null hypothesis is conducted. If the null hypothesis is rejected, means the working hypothesis or the research hypothesis will be accepted. We can blindly tick that. Okay. So whenever the null hypothesis is rejected, the research hypothesis will be accepted. That is the rule. Okay. Just we can remember this. The next one. The research intends to explore the effect of possible factors for the organization of effective midday meal intervention. Which research method will be most appropriate for this study? Okay. Effective midday meal intervention. Which research method will be most appropriate for this study? So this is an midday meal in the sense of after an incident. So after an incident, which method we will find out? I have already told, ex post facto method. Okay, this is also called as midday meal. Midday meal means after an incident in the meaning of that. The next one, which of the following is an initial mandatory requirement for pursuing research? So, which is the initial mandatory requirement for pursuing research? Developing a research design, formulating a research question, deciding about the data analysis procedure, and formulating a research hypothesis. First of all, initial mandatory is formulating a research question. Why we are doing this research? Why we are doing this research? Okay. So that is the initial mandatory. So after we finding out the question, then only we are doing the hypothesis and designing and analysis, that and all. So the first one is formulating a research question. The next question, the format of thesis writing is the same as in. Normally the format of thesis writing is same as in, called as research dissertation. The another name for thesis writing is research dissertation. It is not a seminar or article or conference. Okay. The next question, which of the following statement is not true in the context of participatory research? So they are asking which is not true. Okay. So we can just identify which is true. It recognizes the knowledge. Yes. It recognizes the people as expert. Yes. It's a collective process of inquiry. Yes. Which is its sole purpose is production of knowledge? No. So they are asking which is not true. Okay. Which is not true. So I am choosing the option 4. Its sole purpose is production of knowledge is the not true. It may be or may not be. The next one. Which of the following statement is true in context of testing of a hypothesis? So hypothesis, which is already I told what happened at the testing of null hypothesis. It is only the null hypothesis that can be tested. Okay, it is not an alternative or null hypothesis tested. It is only the null hypothesis is tested. If null hypothesis is rejected, null hypothesis rejected means then working hypothesis is accepted. The next question. Which of the following are the basic rules of APA style of referencing format? Initializing title of the shorter work such as journal articles or essays as invert author names. Is italicizing title of longer works such as books and journals. Is alphabetically indexed reference list. So option A, B, C and D. The next one, which of the following are the characteristic of seminar? It is a form of academic instruction. Yes. It involves questioning, discussioning and debates. Yes. It involves large number of individuals. A seminar, which is not only large, it may be a small group of individuals also happening. Okay. So option 3 won't come. It involves involvement of skilled person. Yes. So option A, B and D is the correct one. It is a form of academic instruction. It involves questioning, discussion and debates. It needs involvement of skilled persons. The next question. A research is interested in studying the prospects of a particular political party in an urban area. Okay, which is happening, some survey is happening in an urban area. What tool should he prefer for the study? So what tool? Because it is an urban area, they don't know how to interview or rating scales, that and all. So they know only the questionnaires. So questionnaires is the correct method, correct tool to take the survey. The next one. Ethical norms in research do not involve guidelines for, they will give the guidelines. Ethical norms, they will give the guidelines for copyright, patenting policy and data sharing policy. They will give the, they are asking what do not involve guidelines. They are not giving the thesis format guidelines. Okay. So ethical norms, they are not giving the thesis format guidelines. They are giving the ethics, they are giving the guidelines for copyright, patenting policy and data sharing policy. That is, copyright means, so once they are created means we cannot copy the same content with another site, right, another person. That is related of this copywriting and patent policy. The next one, consider the argument given below. The next question, consider the argument given below. Pre-employment testing of teachers is quite fair because doctors, architects and engineers who are now employed had to face such a testing. What type of argument is? So there are many types of arguments: deductive, analogical, psychological, biological. Okay, deductive means A tends to B and B tends to C. So A tends to C. This kind of argument is called as a deductive argument. Okay, so normally, and then analogical argument means and because. So these types of argument is called as analogical argument. So psychological, based on the what the people thinks, like that. So psychological argument. The next one, a definition that has meaning that is deliberately assigned to some symbol. So a meaning is assigned to a particular symbol, that is called as stipulative. That is called as stipulative. Precising means just comma, dot, semicolon, that and all will be precising. Lexical, and then persuasive means we are talking, so lexical means relating words. So if I am telling some word, you are assigning another word, relating words is called as lexicals, and precising means dots, comma, semicolon, and stipulative is we are deliberately assigning a particular meaning to particular symbol, that is called as a stipulative. And persuasive means we are talking to convince others. So that kind of statements are called persuasive statements. The next question is, a cluster of proposition with a structure that exhibits some inference. A cluster of proposition with a structure that exhibits some inference is called as an argument. The next one, which of the following statement regarding the meaning of research are correct? Research refers to a series of systematic activity. Yes. Activities undertaken to find out the solution of a problem. Yes, correct. So we are following some systematic activity to find the solution of a particular problem. That is correct one. And the option B, it is systematic, logical and an unbiased process wherein verification of hypothesis, data analysis, interpretation and formulation of principles can be done. Oh yes, this is also an correct. Unbiased process means there should be some stability in our data or in your findings, and everything should be correct. And the next one is, it is an intellectual inquiry or quest towards truth. Yes, that is also correct. It leads to enhancement of knowledge. Yes, correct. So option A, B, C, D. The four options are correct based on the meaning of research. The next question, a good thesis writing should involve. A good thesis writing should involve reduction of punctuation and grammatical errors to a minimum. Is careful checking of references. Is consistency in the way the thesis is written. So consistency means it should be clear. Okay, there should not be consistency in the thesis writing, and it is a clear and well written abstract. So option A is the correct. The next one, 𝐷𝐴𝐺𝐻 gave a theory of cognitive development of humans on the basis of his fundamental research basis. So there is some mistake, I think. Fundamental research. Male and female student performs equally. Male and female. So this is one variable and this is one variable. Students perform equally well in numerical aptitude test. This statement indicates research hypothesis, null hypothesis, directional hypothesis or statistical. So this is called as null hypothesis. Why it is? Male is a one variable and female is another variable. If the variable is considered as equal, then it is called as the statement indicates a null hypothesis. Okay. If the variables are equal, then the statement indicates null hypothesis. Okay. The next one, the conclusion or finding of which type of research cannot be generalized to other situation. Which cannot be generalized to other situation? Historical, it may be descriptive, and experimental. If you find out some experiment in one value, it cannot be generalized to another situation. So experimental research is the answer. The next question, which of the following steps are required to design a questionnaire? So to define a questionnaire, what are the things needed? Writing primary and secondary aim of the study is review of the current literature. So we no need literature in designing the questionnaire. Okay. And then preparing a draft of questionnaire and revision of the draft. So option A, C, D is the answer. When the purpose of a definition is to explain the use or to eliminate ambiguity, the definition is called. When the purpose of definition is to explain the use or to eliminate ambiguity, the definition is called. So ambiguity means some confusion or some collisions. It will resolve based on the theoretical. The purpose of definition is to explain without any confusion. So that is called as theoretical. So your theory should be represented without any ambiguous. The next one, the core element of dissertation. The core element of dissertation, whenever you are presenting the thesis or dissertation, what are the things we have to represent? So this and all won't come. Introduction, it will come. Literature review, then research methodology, then results, discussions and conclusion. So this is the core element of dissertation. Introduction, literature review, research methodology, results, discussion and conclusion. The next one, what is a research design? So research designing means what? So it is some framework for every stage, what we have to do. What is the next step we have to do? So we are doing some framework. Okay. So research design is a framework for every stage of the collection and analysis of data. This is not about the style of research finding, or it doesn't about the quality or quantity. This is way of conducting research that is not grounded in theory. It is not that one. Research designing is a framework for every stage of the collection and analysis of data. The next one, sampling cases. Sampling cases means sampling we are getting from the people or from the newspaper. We are getting some data or details, right? That is called as sampling cases. So in which way we are getting this sampling cases means sampling of people, newspapers, television programs and etc. etc. It's not about the literary, or it's not about the identifying people, or it is not about the sampling frame. The next one, the frequency distribution of a research data which is symmetrically in shape similar to a normal distribution but center peak. So if you are doing some research, the result is, if it is coming like this, okay, the center part is at the peak, okay, center part is peak, or center peak is much higher, then it is called as leptokurtic. This is called as leptokurtic. The next one, when planning to do a social research, it is better to approach the topic with an open mind. Yes. So whenever you are doing social research, that is, you are going outside, you are doing some social research, we should approach the topic with an open mind. Do a pilot study? No. Be familiar with literature, that and all not required when you are doing the social research. So theory, that and all not important in social. We should be in very open-minded when you are doing the social research. Approach the topic with an open mind. So that is the better requirement for the social research. The next question. When academics are called to deliver lecture or presentation to an audience on a certain topics or a set of topics of educational nature, it is called as training program or seminar. It is called as seminar. Okay, when some academics are coming and they are delivering a lecture or presentation, that is called as seminar. Okay. So there are 4 estates in the democracy. Okay, so in a democracy world, in democracy of India, there are 4. So the first one is legislative. Legislative is, that is nothing but a law. And then next one is executive and judiciary. Executive is enforces law. Okay, so this is the law we have to follow. And judiciary, they are protecting the laws, protecting and governs the law. For example, if somebody is not following the law, they will protect it. Okay, or they will give the punish if they are not obeying that law. So that is judiciary. And the 4th one is media. So media people is called as 4th estate. The first one is legislative, second one is executive, third one is judiciary, and 4th one is media estate. So for media people, they are giving the next importance. So the media is known as 4th estate. The next question. In a thesis, figures and tables are included in the appendices. A separate chapter? No. A concluding chapter, we are not, in a concluding chapter, we are not included the figures and tables, right? In a separate chapter also. In appendices, we are not. So in the text itself, we are, wherever you are placing your text, there itself, we are applying our thesis, figures and tables. So the correct option is the text itself. The next one. A thesis statement. A thesis statement is an observation? No. Is a fact? No. Is an assertion. A thesis statement is an assertion. Is a theory or correct one. I am find out some theory based on my assumption, and I found out that one is a correct. So I am proving that one is correct. Okay, I said A plus B equal to C, and then I proved that A plus B equal to C. So that is a thesis. So it is not a discussion also. A thesis statement is an assertion or the correct one. The theory is correct. I am proving that. The next one. The research approach of Max Weber to understand how people create meanings in natural settings is identified as, so how people or understand the meaning of each and every one. That is their interpretative. That indicates their interpretative paradigm. It is not about the positive or critical or natural paradigm. It is how their level of understanding. If I show some toy to a child, their understanding is different from the matured person, right? So their interpretative paradigm as the right answer. A research approach to Max Weber to understand how people create meanings. So how people create meanings in natural setting is identified as interpretative paradigm. The next one. Which one of the following is non-probability sampling? Non-probability sampling. So probability sampling will come under simple, systematic, stratified. This and all will be coming under, these 3 will coming under probability. So what they are asking is non-probability sampling. Their question is non-probability sampling, that is purposive. Purposive is an non-probability sampling. The next question. Identify the category of evolution that assesses the learning progress to provide continuous feedback to the students during instruction. So which is this one we have seen in the teaching also. So continuous feedback during the student instruction, during the class time itself you are getting, that is called as formative evolution. That evolution is called as formative evolution. The next one. The next question. The research stream of immediate application. So immediate problem, if you want to solve the problem immediately, so then I have to apply this action research. Is the correct one. The next one. The population information is called parameter, while the corresponding sample information is known as statistic. Okay, so for a population, I am getting some sample information. Okay, I am collecting some data. Okay, so 1000. So in a city A and city B and city C, some data is I am collected. So that is called as statistics, right? So option D is the correct answer. The next one. The sequential operation in scientific research or covariation. This is variation. So option A, covariation, elimination of spurious relation, generalization, theorization. So this is the sequential operation which has happened at the time of scientific research. In sampling, the lottery method is used for randomization. In a sampling, the lottery method is randomization. Normally, we know that lottery is we are taking some numbers randomly. So that is called as randomization. The next one, which is the main objective of research. So what is the main objective of research? To review the literature? No. To summarize what is already known? No. To get the academic degree? No. So the research is to discover a new fact or to make fresh interpretation of known facts. So option D is the correct answer. The next one. Sampling errors decreases with increase in sample size. When you are increasing the sample size and the sampling error will be decreases. The next one. The principles of fundamental research are used in the fundamental research is the first step one. The next will be applied research. Correct. The first fundamental research or where they are applying and then applied research. You check it out how it is working. So the principle of fundamental research are used in applied research. Which one of the following is not a type of experimental method? There is a single group experiment. They are asking which is not a type. Okay. So single group experiment is there, parallel group experiment, rational group experiment is there. Residual error is not a type of experimental method. Why? Means residual means equal to observation minus actual. So this is called as a residual error. So this is not coming under the experimental method. For example, the actual cost is 30, but my observation is 50. So this is called as residual error. So this is not a type of experimental method. Next one. Which one of the following is not a non-parametric test? It is not a non-parametric test. They are asking not. Okay. T-test is called as a non-parametric test. Other three are coming under non-parametric test. What is sign test? So t-test is normally conducted for a set of group of two group of something. So two group of members. Okay, group. So whereas sign test is conducted, is find outing before what is her weight. Okay, before weight, and after exercise what is her weight, after weight. So this kind of test is called sign test. Before something, before taking before food what is the sugar level, after test what is the sugar level. So such kind of test is called as sign test. And chi-square test. Chi-square test is nothing but we have the variable is represented in a table format and they are manipulated something. And then run test is some sequence of numbers are giving to the variable and they are testing 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's called as an run test. The next question. Read the following statement. One labeled as assertion and the other as reason. Assertion. Qualitative research in India has a long way to go to research international standards. Yes, the quality of research in India is a long way which should to touch the international standard. Yes, we have to go a long way is correct. The next one, because the funding agency do not support quality research in academic institution. No, they are supporting. If the research is good means the funding agencies are supporting. So assertion A is true and or is false. So option D is A is true and or is false. The next one. Identify the correct sequence of research step. So identify the correct sequence of research step. The first one is selection of topics. Yes. Then we are going to review of literature. Okay. Then we are doing data collection and then we are interpreting of findings. Okay. So for example, we are find outing data collection, we are find outing how many populations are there, and then we are coming to the conclusion. That is called as interpretation of findings. So based on this, okay, this much of students are passed, this much of students are failed. So first I am collecting the data and then only I am interpretation of findings.